Welcome back to another, I guess, podcast that we are putting on. My name is Jason Wood, and along with Lee Maddox and Michael Maddox, we are partners in a nationwide brokerage company. So, this segment, we are going to highlight one of the things that I believe sets us apart from other brokerage companies, and that is the tireless effort that Michael Maddox does in terms of all of the data and the documentation he provides our sellers and how he tracks everything from start to finish on our deals. So, Michael, help us understand when a deal starts, how does it get to you? How do you keep track of everything? Help us understand that.
Yeah, so it starts with a phone call, right? We talk with sellers and we figure out if they want to sell or not. And part of that process is, like you guys said, reviewing their leases on the attorney side, and then it's all about a bunch of data collection. It's tax returns, P&Ls, it's practice reports, it's having them fill out a long questionnaire so we can understand their practice to an extent. It's getting the material ready to take to market. And once we get it to market, we see a flood of buyers who are inquiring. And part of the problem that I saw when we started was keeping track of all these buyers. Because as a seller, you want to know who's looking at your practice and, why they like it, why they don't like it, and what we could do to be better. So we implemented Salesforce, which has been amazing. I can track every seller, every buyer who's inquired, every NDA they signed. I can log every email and have a really good idea of who's looking at the practice at the click of a button, whether that's on my phone or on my computer. And it's something you have to do every day. And then, when we talk to buyers and it doesn't work out, at least we have an idea of what they wanted. If I get a new listing in a certain area, I'm like, oh yeah, I have 5 or 6 buyers who looked at another practice not far away. I can instantly reach out an email and say, hey, I have this new listing. You've already signed an NDA. Here's the summary. Let me know if you want to go see it. We can track, what a practice sold for in that area, how close we were, how close the sales price was to our valuation price. And that's useful when we talk to sellers about what we can expect on pricing, a little higher, a little lower. We can track how many operatories it is, what kind of specialty it is, what our buyers are. I can go in my system and say, I need to see all the orthodontists that looked at practices in Southern California, San Diego, LA, Northern California, and limit that really quickly and know, okay, maybe someone in here is the buyer, maybe not. And then on top of that, we're always getting new inquiries because there's new people coming to market. There's people looking for their second or third office. There's people moving in or out of the state. And and it's not just me. Our transactional coordinator, Eddie Montejano, he's on top of it all day long. He's sending out a lot of information to these new buyers through Salesforce. We can do automated messaging just to get them the information and their NDA signed right away. And, having the technology in this business has been great, and we want to expand on that. It's a learning experience, but the way with how AI is going and things like that, we'll be able to really get things out to people quickly and track what they want. And it's, it makes my job a lot easier, especially when sellers saying, hey, who's looked at my practice? I could say, hey, we've had 15 people. Half of them are interested. This other half said they're not ready. They just started looking. They want more operatories. It's too big. They don't feel confident. And it's good for us because we get to know our buyer pool too, especially when we're talking to sellers. Like, hey, I know, there's a lot of people looking for 5 operatories in a shopping center, and it really helps.
I noticed that you not only that's the first layer of data collection, but I've noticed that you're able to then dig even deeper and oh, well, Dr. Wilson, he was interested in this. And therefore you're drawing lines all over the place to try to connect the right buyer with the right seller.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Williams, whoever, he's inquired on 6 practices in the last year. I've known that he's worked with three banks and had loan approval and has been escrow once and pulled out. But yeah, I can look and see my emails from 2 years ago talking to these people. And it really helps for when you reach back out to them, you could have notes. So, hey, how's your family? I know you went on vacation. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. And, build a little bit of a relationship with them. So they're not just talking to another broker who's trying to sell them. You have that little bit of a, personal relationship where, it's not, hey, I just want you to buy this. Like, hey, let's go look at this practice. Maybe this will be the one. We're selling a practice now where I've shown this buyer 8 different practices. And, hopefully it closes in the next few weeks. But, it's been fun working with them because, they feel like you're friends with them at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, let's go look at it. What do you like? What don't you like? And then when the seller asks, like, why don't they like my practice? Well, they really want a CBCT scan.
Right.
They want this, they want updated this. And, and so it just gives me some information that I can relay more on a deeper level. So the sellers just don't think people don't want their practice. And I can relay, hey, it's normal. This person's looked at 7 practices, or this is a new person. I haven't talked to them before, or I already have the resume on file. Here it is. So and it's just staying on top of the data, and it makes it easier to communicate. Right. So
what also seems to be able to, like, you can pinpoint with a pretty accurate measure as to what are the positives and what are the negatives of the seller's practice, and then focus on the positives for future marketing and targeted potential buyers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, so there's a new practice and they have that new scanner, they have that new technology. I go back to my other buyers who looked at a practice that didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I call them up, hey, found that practice with 5 ops and the new scanner. Oh, can I go see it? Yeah, let's go.
Love it.
Or, hey, it'll be available in 3 weeks. We're still in the collection phase and making marketing materials. So it's not listed yet. But when it is, I'll get you in the door first and be ready to go. Did you talk to your lender? No, I haven't talked to them in a few months. Why don't you call, or we can recommend you. Let's call, some of the guys we work with, and let's get the ball rolling. So it shows that you're serious when you walk in, and give me your resume so I can give it to the seller on the day that it goes live and say, hey, this person, great buyer, they're ready to go. You have everything they want. So.
Well, and it's a benefit to the sellers because not only do you have a list of buyers, but you have a list of like targeted, like these people based upon the unique characteristics of your practice. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. It's like, this is why I think it might be a good buyer. Instead of just showing up, hey, this is just somebody who inquired. Can I go show the practice?
Love it.
And I just want to add that I have fully adopted all the digitized information that Michael's given me, the whole digital experience, the AI recording devices.
Oh, that's another thing.
And I want you to know that I use them every single day by asking Michael to find me the information in the programs that he has, and to download all the information. I'm recording my AI devices because I'm a dinosaur. I don't know how to use any of it. So thank you, Michael, for doing that. It's been very helpful. So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, just wanted to give you some insight on some of the inner workings of our company and how we do things slightly different with more of a personal touch. If you have any other questions, feel free to click the link below and we'll reach out.
thank you.
Thanks.